On the 12th of August, we received the news of the Indian born British American author Salman Rushdie, who was stabbed at a lecture in New York. This has sent shockwaves, especially across the literary world, because not only is he a celebrated author, but this incident can be described, rightfully described, as an attack on freedom of speech. So, what do we make of this whole incident?
Gee, it's a tragedy on a scale, I think, which we're only now beginning to realize. Firstly, this is a terrorist attack. It is an attack which has the specific intention of creating terror. Right? It was carried out in a particularly brutal manner. It was carried out in a location which was supposedly secure and a place where freedom of speech could actually be exercised. And it was carried out on a person who has a global stature and is hugely respected. It seems at this moment it's unclear, but it seems that the reasoning behind it was actually the execution of that old fatwa going back decades when he published Satanic verses. And in that whole book, there wasn't a chapter that was a problem. There was actually only a couple of lines in one paragraph which was a problem. And so, this is broadcasting to the world. And each of us has to ask the question, are we now in a world where lines written decades ago result in an attempted murder and a terrorist attack? This is beyond normal behavior. This is nothing to do with religion. This is certainly nothing to do with divinity. This is nothing to do with humanity's journey towards connecting with the divine creator. This is something totally different. And I think that we have to come to the decision collectively that religion cannot be used as a get out of jail free card to excuse and shall we say, soften the most outrageous behavior. It's a real tragedy. The news that's coming out at the moment is that his injuries are quite extensive. He may have harm to his vision. There is a possibility that he may lose vision in one eye, as well as other very severe life-threatening instances. And so we do send him our best wishes. But more importantly than our best wishes, I think we have to encourage everybody to reflect upon the degree of tolerance that's being extended to terrorists purely and solely because they masquerade as religionists. This is the question for our leaders to address with urgency. Unless it's addressed, these things have a habit of escalating, of proliferating and becoming normal, becoming what we're accustomed to. And I'm hoping that Salman Rushdie's case is one where we can redress this and say, no, this is not normal. This is an aberration. And the source has to be identified. The manner of his radicalization has to be identified. And it has to be nipped in the bud. So let's send our best wishes to Salman Rushdie for his speedy recovery.
Absolutely, Panditji.
You mentioned the Natya Shastra. And I recall even Salman Rushdie making a remark once about how the oldest and the first recorded statement about freedom of expression was actually in the Natya Shastra. And he told the story about how the devas assembled to protect the stage and prevent the Danavs from attacking the artists who the Danavs were not very happy at the manner in which they were being portrayed, as one would expect. They're Danavs after all, and the last thing they like is a mirror being shown to them. But the principle was established that artistic expression must be protected at all costs, and that's the price to pay. And, as I say, it's just a strange and terrible coincidence that we're talking about freedom of expression in Bharat, while Salman Rushdie, who really applauded and worshipped that freedom, is lying in hospital in a devastating state.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.